Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing The God's Lie by Kaori Ozaki. This is a standalone manga and it has a really pretty cover that I read and I really enjoyed. So I'm going to talk about what happens in this book as well as my thoughts on this book and what you can expect if you get this book out yourself. So The God's Lie came up on, I believe, a list when I searched looking for good standalone mangas to read, and I had not read anything by Kaori Ozaki, and I had not read The God's Lie, so I decided to check it out, and I went in blind, completely blind. We meet the main character of this book, whose name is Natsuro Nano, and he is a sixth grader who's kind of having a lot of things change in his life. One thing that defines him is he doesn't have a dad. His father has passed away from cancer, we learn. So he's living alone with his mother, who is a writer, creative type, who is just trying to keep things afloat and keep the whole system of the family moving forward while dealing with a rambunctious and rapidly changing sixth grader. He also has a passion for soccer and he is on a soccer team in his elementary school. He's getting ready to go into middle school and you can tell that he has big dreams around soccer. However, things are changing at the soccer field as well. Their old fun coach has gone away. He's essentially told that they are just getting replaced with a better coach, but we find out that he's actually, the coach is in the hospital for cancer, and the new coach is kind of sucking the fun out of soccer for Natsuro, which is a sport that he's enjoyed up until now. Another person who is the other central figure in the story that we meet is his classmate, Ryo Suzumuro. Suzumuro is a girl who kind of stands out. For one, she's taller than most of her classmates. It seems that she's hit her growth spurt early, which I can relate. And she also seems to come from a difficult household, but she doesn't really showcase that. We get the sense that she doesn't always fit in with the other girls in her class, and other girls in the class are already a little bit upset, or they kind of fear Natsuro because he accidentally rejected one of them or was too scared to accept chocolates from one of them earlier on. But Ryo Suzumura and Natsuro are starting to talk to each other and they do have some interactions, but things kind of come to the head at the start of summer vacation. Natsuro is supposed to go to a soccer camp, but he has been increasingly disenfranchised from his soccer team and soccer practice and is starting to have outbursts because things are difficult, and he decides to pretend to go on the soccer camp, but ultimately chooses not to. He lies and calls his soccer coach or his friend and says that he is ill and not able to attend, and then he just starts wandering around the location. It's implied that he's supposed to be at soccer camp for a number of days, so he has a number of days to kill, and he hasn't told his mom that he's not going to soccer camp. He runs into Ryo Suzumuro and they decide to do summer together at her house, and we come to find out that she has a very difficult home life, although it isn't all revealed because Ryo is trying to keep things under wrap about just how bad her situation is. There's definitely pressure around money in the house. We can see that she's trying to keep things under wraps and that there is a lack of adult figure who is regularly in the home, which seems to imply that maybe there's some neglect that is going on. However, the true extent of the home life problems hasn't really been revealed to Natsuro. And when some of the things that are happening in the home does become revealed to him, it kind of creates a breaking point in their relationship, because Natsuro now has information about what's happening in his classmate's home, which perhaps he should reveal to authorities, but he doesn't want to lose this relationship that he has with Ryo, and Ryo of course has a lot to lose and fears being kind of taken away from this little family that she's built. And so we have this idyllic summer vacation in which two kids who are ostensibly supposed to be under adult supervision are kind of doing summer vacation by themselves as they kind of go into first love with one another and deal with some really severe home life consequences that they are dealing with. So my thoughts on this. I don't want to go too far in the plot, of course, because I don't want to give away the ending, but I felt like it was a very moving and well done standalone manga, and I am looking for more books like this. So if you have recommendations, please leave them down below. I think it explored a lot of the interesting ways in which a complicated home life can spill over into the classroom. We see increasing Natsuru's outbreaks when it comes to wanting to protect Ryo, and some of the things that happens to Ryo that other girls make fun of her for things that she can't control. We also see that the consequences that parents and their actions can have on their children, and how they can, by being irresponsible, put them in quite bad situations that then children kind of take the brunt of the shame for. So that was really well done and sensitively done. I could guess what was going on quite early in the Suzumura household. There were some hints, and it wasn't really like hidden if you really think. I think most people will figure out what's gone on, or maybe not the entire extent of what's gone on, but I kind of understood the two bigger plot twists, not the details, quite early on. However, it's a sign of good writing that even when you figure out the twist, and I don't think the author made any attempt to make it super hidden, the book is still good. I think when you have the ability to have a really interesting book that makes you want to keep reading, even though you kind of know where it's going, that's a sign of good writing. If the only thing that keeps your reader reading your book is the whodunit aspect, or the I need to figure out the twist aspect, I'm not saying it's bad writing, but I feel like maybe it isn't as high quality as it could be. If I know what's happening and I'm still reading because there's some intrinsic emotional connection to the plot, that's when I know the book is actually good, at least for me. So even though I could guess where it was going, I still kept reading because I was enjoying the book and I was sucked in. The plausibility of what happened is, I would say, maybe questionable, except that when I turn on the news, I see crazy stuff all the time. So I'm sure crazier stuff has happened, and I'm sure something like this could happen. You could see how young kids, I mean, they're just in 6th grade, being faced with very, very difficult decisions, could reason through a problem and reach the solutions that they reach together, even when that's not a logical solution for an adult. Because also remember, we're dealing with children who are having to reason through very, very difficult adult situations. And they not only are children, but they also lack adult supervision or adult guidance in the way that adults can provide. Or in the case of Natsuro, who still has his mom, she is running both roles as a parent. She has to be the person who's earning the money and being taking care of your kid. And she, as a writer, she's under these deadlines and has a very fluid, flexible schedule. So we can see how they already are kind of disadvantaged as opposed to regular kids who already probably wouldn't make good decisions in these situations as well. This is one of the best standalone mangas that I've read, and I'm really interested in reading more standalone mangas. I love a good series that I can get lost in. I love a good series that I can read. The problem with series is when I read them, I have to read them through interlibrary loan holds usually, because my library won't have all of the volumes, and that can mean waiting up to months between getting those volumes. And when I read standalone mangas, I know I can just get one and it's going to be done, and I'm not going to have to refresh or place 20 holds at once, so I can read all the volumes in a series in one sitting, so I don't have these big gaps. So if you have any to recommend, please let me know. And I am recommending this one, The God's Lie by Kaori Ozaki, if you are looking for a good standalone manga series. This was in my teen section, so it's not too grisly or graphic, so definitely don't be put off by that, but I think it explores some interesting ideas and it's really, really well done, and I do like this book. I will be recommending it to other people, and I am recommending it to you. If you have any recommendations, or if you've read this book and have thoughts and feelings on it, please leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of